How much of us is who we want to be versus who we just are? I think about my beard. It started as rat hair on my face, and now it's a big, luscious piece of my personality. I'm constantly telling women, my eyes are up here, but really, how much of my beard is me? How much of it is just something I've had for so long that it became me? My face is my logo, and logos don't change. And the more I thought about this question, the harder it was to answer. And that's how life works. We don't wake up one day and decide, I'm going to trap myself in a life I don't want. It just happens slowly. We're staying something a little too long because leaving feels big and staying just feels like today. We develop a status quo, a stasis. We pick up our phone first thing in the morning, not because we choose to, because it's there. And then one day it's been years, and we'll panic if we can't take our phone with us to the toilet. There's a movie called My Dinner with Andre. It's literally just two guys talking at a dinner table. No plot, no action, just conversation. And one of them says something that stuck with me. He talks about how people build their own prisons, and he uses New York as the example. He says, I feel like New York is the new model for the concentration camp, where the camp has been built by the inmates themselves. And the inmates are the guards, and they have this pride in this thing they built. They built their own prison. So they exist in a state of schizophrenia, where they are both the prisoners and the guards at the same time. As someone who lives in New York and realizes this film was made before I was born, you realize New York is generally the blueprint for the future we're all going to live in one way or the other. We build routines, stories, identities, expectations, and we make it all make sense. We make it work. We make it comfortable. And then at some point, we stop noticing it's a prison, and then we take on a second role. We become the guards. We protect the routines, defend the identity, and shut down anything unfamiliar. Now we're both, the prisoners and the guards. And the guard isn't evil. They're just scared. When we don't send the message, when we don't start the thing, when we stay one more year, when we avoid the conversation, that's not laziness. That's our wiring doing its job. Anything new, unfamiliar, or uncomfortable gets interpreted as danger. It doesn't matter if it's actually good for us, it's unfamiliar, and our brain goes, nah. And here we know the rules. Out there we don't. So it locks the door and builds a higher wall every time. And this is where it gets weird. It's not just us anymore. There's something else reinforcing it. I've been doing this Humble the Poet thing for over 15 years now. And somewhere along the way, without really choosing it, I got put in a box. Not in a bad way. That's just how attention works. You make something, people connect with it, so you make more. They respond again, so you keep going. And slowly a pattern forms. No one sits you down and says it, but you feel it. This is what you are now. This is what you do. Stay here. Like the first time you posted that thirst trap and it went bananas, no one has to tell you to suck in your stomach and post again. You pick up on those signals. This happens in real life. You tell a joke in front of a group and their response decides whether you're going to use that joke again or throw it away. The longer we stay in it, the more it starts to feel like us. Not something we're doing, but something we are. We stop saying, this is my routine, and start saying, this is just who I am. And that shift is everything. Because now we're not protecting a habit, we're protecting an identity. And identity is way harder to question, way harder to walk away from. So we don't just stay in the cell, we start defending it, explaining it, justifying it, even when some parts of us know it doesn't fit us anymore. So let's throw in the almighty algorithm. And the algorithm doesn't just care about what you posted, how authentic it is to you, it just cares about if it worked. And it sees a pattern, what got clicks, what got shared, what people stayed for it. And it feeds that back over and over. And it works until you try something different. And then suddenly nothing. No reach, no response, no signal. And you feel it. Like, okay, message received. Stay in this lane. So now it's not just your fear. It's a system trained on your past keeping you there. You don't even have to talk yourself out of it. It does it for you. And I've had this thought recently. I don't fully know which of my choices are actually mine and which ones are shaped by what worked before and what people expect and what gets engagement. I can't always tell, and that's uncomfortable because I've always fantasized about having a community that gets to see the real me and accept me as I am. And now I'm sitting here wondering, is this real? Or is this just a version of authentic that performs well? The brand becomes the standard, and the standard becomes the wall. And that wall is to a fortress that protects us, but it's also a prison that traps us. You have a version of this. Maybe it's a relationship that doesn't really fit anymore. Believing would be complicated. Maybe it's a career that stopped making sense years ago, but still sounds good when you say it out loud. Maybe it's a hair color, a fashion sense, a frame of glasses. Maybe it's a version of you that worked at one point and now you're just maintaining it. We all have something different. Different cells, same setup. And the hardest part isn't leaving. The hardest part is admitting you built it. Because if someone else built it, you're stuck. But if you built it, then the door's been there the whole time. I'm not saying burn down your life. I'm not saying quit everything or shave your beard off or make some dramatic move just to prove you can. Some of what you built is good. Some of it is actually you. The point isn't to destroy it. The point is to see it, to notice when the guards show up, realize you're at the edge of change, and just ask, is this actually dangerous or does it just feel that way because it's new? So in the middle of recording that video, the studio got hit by an asteroid. Most of us don't change. Luckily I made it out, but I'm gonna finish the video here on my phone. So a lot of the reason that we don't change is because we can't stay with the discomfort of facing that prison guard that looks just like us long enough for them to move aside. I have a good friend right now who's going through relationship challenges with somebody he has a child with. And I know him, he's done a lot of personal growth to be in that relationship. And for the longest time, things weren't getting better because he made a rule saying we will never break up, not realizing that that rule in itself was constraining what was possible for him to improve the relationship. The moment he gave himself permission to walk away from the relationship, a whole new world opened up where he found new tools and perspectives that could actually improve the relationship he was having with them. We all have our own personal stories where our identities feel like prisons, where the guards are also us. Some of those stories come from society, religion, fairy tales, porn, and Disney. I'm not making this video to tell you what your story is. I just want you to ensure that you're the one holding the pen writing it, and you're the one holding the pen to edit it. And I still have a beard. I might keep it. I might not. But at least now I know it's a question. And that might be the whole thing. Just checking in every once in a while. Looking around, noticing the walls, noticing the prison that I built for myself that I may think is a fort. Noticing who's standing at the door, noticing who's guarding it, noticing who's building more. And asking myself, am I here because I want to be, or I just stopped trying to leave? A lot of tension that we carry isn't trauma or wounds. It's the tension that's screaming inside of us that we're overdue for an upgrade, to move closer to the person we're meant to be. Remember, our best life is our most authentic life. Now here's what I look like without a beard. You're welcome for the nightmares.